What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be reviewing round 15, Port Adelaide versus Sydney at the Adelaide Oval in front of just under 30,000 screaming fans in what was a fantastic 10-point win over a very plucky Sydney Swans outfit led by a blistering Buddy Franklin performance. Yesterday's game had it all and it was so exciting to watch, and I can't wait to review this one. So let's get straight into it and review a Port Adelaide 10-point win in round 15 over the Swans.
Cunningham finds a way out. Parker just edged it. Now Marshall gone. Did he dispose of it legally? The Ruckman. Scotty Lysette. Beat him up. No. Scotty's kicked the match winner.
Beaming up, Scotty.
Beat him up.
Scotty Lysette kicking the match winner there. 10 points up with 2 minutes to go, and an exceptional performance throughout the whole day by Port Adelaide. I couldn't see the first half due to playing footy. Couldn't go to the game due to playing footy. But when I got home and when I got the chance to see that second half, the game lit up. The game had everything, and it was so exciting to watch. And look, to be honest, in those games, you make mistakes. You know, wet weather footy. You have lapses, it happens, and I'm not going to fault this performance on any technicalities or structural performances. All you can base it on is effort, and our team gave 110% throughout the whole of the 4 quarters, and there was a lapse in the last quarter where the defensive unit was a bit lackluster and a little bit stale, but you know, regardless, the point of the matter is that we gutsed out a 10-point win against a fellow top 8 side who are young, who are, you know, they've got fresh legs, they've got pace, and it was our experience, it was our old campaigners, it was unlikely heroes who got Port Adelaide across the line against the Swans, and I'm beaming like Scotty Lysette, because that goal that went through, I was jumping all over the place because I was just waiting for something to happen. I thought we were going to lose when Buddy Franklin kicked the goal, with 5 minutes to go, and you know, credit to Buddy, he's an exceptional footballer, we know that. He's one of the greats of the game, and he was absolutely at his vintage best last night in that last quarter, and he turned the game on its head, and it had everything, and the commentary of Anthony Hudson, Jason Dunstall and Gary Lyon, the perfect trio in the commentary box if you ask me in this current time, because they were just, the excitement levels were great, they made the whole game so much more enjoyable. The atmosphere at the Adelaide Oval seemed to be electrifying, and I think it's just made us feel a different relief. You know, when we win games this year, like against a Fremantle or against a Gold Coast, you know, we're happy, Port win, we can live our lives and be a bit happy that our teams are winning. But this win was so much more enjoyable. We got so much more out of it. I think it's because of the effort we had in it, you know, the control of the game that we had, and I think the main thing was the fact that we got the 4 points, and now we're sitting in the top 4, you know, with players to come back in. They're getting the Army's coming back. You know, the Dersma's coming back. Butters is not far away. We're going to get Tom Cleary back. And whilst we keep getting these little niggling injuries, and Mackenzie's attack on the footy was a perfect example. You might have hurt his shoulder, and you know, it's sad to see that. But his effort and his commitment to that ball, along with Hayward, and they went in at a perfect, you know, the perfect way to do it. You know, shoulder to shoulder. They've gone in, picked the ball up, and that's a football collision at its finest, and it was so great to see both players commit to that contest. But that's the type of stuff you want to see late in the game, trying to win it for your team and trying to win the footy and get yourselves in a better position. And Trent Mackenzie, you know, he might have gone down, but that is a worldy performance, and it was meant to be because Sam Mayes came on as the super sub. As Gary Lyon said in the call, he had been warming up since 12:30 in the afternoon because he was playing it against, I think it was North Adelaide, the Magpies were playing, and he came on as the super sub, played a half a footy in the SANFL, came across and went to the Adelaide Oval as the super sub, and came on and made a massive impact. I think he had 4 or 5 touches, he was tackling, his pressure was immense, played up forward and kicked a really important goal to put Port Adelaide back in front late in the game, and it was just great to see that he could have a little impact, and like I said, unsung heroes, to get to that point, and then you're pushing the ball forward. Dan Houston takes a courageous mark, going back with the flight, with a Buddy behind him and Heaney in front of him, and then you've got Travis Boak, you know, and I want to spend a minute on him because this man has been dubbed as, one of the greats of Port Adelaide. He's worked his ass off for many years now, but the question mark has been, is he really a damaging player as such? And that's always been lingering about in the community. Is Boakey really that much of a last night? I don't care about that status anymore. He's a match winner. It clarified that for me, because he is a dead set match winner. The fact that he gets tagged in the first half and has 7 touches to half-time, to come out and have 13 in the third quarter, kick a crucial goal, which put Port Adelaide a couple of goals up, to keep attacking the footy. He was tackling, he was pressurising, and then in those last 10 minutes, he had another 10 possessions in the last quarter, ended up with 23 possessions and a half of football. In the second half, when teams start to tire out a bit in the games that are close, get to the death, and anything can happen, he kept his composure. His willingness for the footy, he was tackling, his pressure was amazing, and he was hitting targets. In those conditions, I could not believe he was doing it all. I remember watching, I was screaming. I was saying, he's doing everything. Getting the clearances, following up his own footy, rebounding from defensive 50, putting it inside 50. It was everywhere. Now, wherever the camera went, Boak went. And it was just amazing to see that type of that grunt. It was a grunt win by the boys, and that grunt by Boak to drag us across the line. It was his kick, his pick up in the middle of the ground in those conditions, to turn around, evade his opponent, hit Williams on the chest. Williams, with composure, didn't do a lot yesterday, the debutant, but he was, he was thereabouts, and he had a tackle in the second quarter as well. It was absolutely sensational, which provided a goal for Houston, but his composure to put it inside 50 to a 2-on-2 contest. Motlop creating that contest to get the ball down to Mays, and Mays dribbling it through for a goal, puts Port Adelaide back in front. It's these unlikely heroes, and it's just great to see that the team is able to perform without the megastars. There's no Butters, there's no Robbie Gray yesterday, and a few others, and Dixon's getting manhandled, and he's sore all over, and as I said, Mackenzie goes off, and there was players limping, but we were backed against the wall, and to just see that just provides me with a lot more confidence now. I've been rejuvenated after seeing that. I think I'm here going, anything's possible with the matter of that we were able to grunt that out. And I know it's Sydney, they're a fellow top 8 side, and they're lingering thereabouts in 6th, 7th and 8th, but they've been damaging this year. They've been hurting top 4 teams, and it's just wonderful to see that we were able to put in a performance like that and win the game. And across the whole day, it was back and forth between the two teams. Momentum swings, and probably, if anything, a little thing that I'd touch on is probably our defensive structure, which has been questioned a little bit, I think, in the last month or so against the better quality teams. But Alirali, that crucial mark late. Tom Jonas won his time again with running away from Buddy Franklin. That was a bit odd and a bit frustrating at the time, but that's the pressure of the game in the end. And players like Ryan Burton, underappreciated yesterday in my opinion. He was great to see him get in a performance like that. His one-on-one performances were great. He was linking up. It was doing all the hard things, and that was really good to see. It's just the other player I want to touch on. This bloke's been sensational. He's been building throughout the year, and he's had his opportunity with Rockcliffe out. Willem Drew, coming of age in the last month. He's the number 1 tackler at Port Adelaide. He was willing the ball forward. He was grunting. He was in the contest. He was tackling. His pressure was amazing throughout the whole game. And it's great to see someone like Willem come of age in a situation where certain players are missing out or have injuries, and he's got his opportunity this year, and he's taken it with both hands. And it was so great to see that these individual performances in a game like that, for these unsung heroes to stand up and get their team across the line, along with your Boaks, and Charlie Dixon arguably best on ground before he having a little bit of a niggle. Amazing. An amazing performance, and I'm so happy to see that we're able to get the job done. One more time. Beam it up, Scotty. I love the commentary. It was so good. I was just sitting there. I've watched it about 30 times purely for the fact of the commentary from Anthony Hudson. And who would have thought a ruckman kicks the winning goal? No, they said it in the call. Ruckman aren't supposed to do that. It's arguably the greatest ruckman goal I've seen. Because, and I'd say that with tongue in cheek, but to see a ruckman take his opportunity, stand up in the big, and the celebration is what got me as well. Everyone's jumping all over Scotty. Carl Amon up there with the fist pumping, and half the group came over and celebrated in a big group hug. That's footy, and that's great to see, and that's the true team performance that we put in against the Swans, and to have that finish. I think we've been wanting a bit of a close game, and one that we get across the line in, because we've had a few close ones. Dogs ran away, the Cats ran away with it, and we bet Richmond at home, and we've been wanting a bit of that X factor finish that we haven't had as much at the Adelaide Oval, and we got to see it. So the crowd was roaring, and it was so great to see, and I'm just happy. I'm just happy at the moment to see our boys get the job done in that type of situation, and I hope Trent McKenzie's okay and pulls up. Next week we've got Hawthorn at Marvel Stadium on the Saturday night. Sean Burgoyne's going to play his 400th game. A little bit of a beautiful tribute to him, I think. Playing his old side, 400 games. It's going to be a good game of footy, I reckon. Hawthorn have been pretty interesting to watch, I think, in the last month. They've beaten the Sydney Swans, so came close to beating Essendon, and they're doing really well against the Giants. So I think it would be great to see Burgoyne play a pretty good game of footy, but us get the job done. So we'll wait and see on that one. But yeah, that's been Port Adelaide and Sydney. I'm so happy that we got the job done and got the 4 points. Well, that's it. That is my review of round 15, Port Adelaide versus Sydney. Beam it up, Scotty. I absolutely love it. That's great. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of the game. And make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content coming your way across the rest of the season. My name is Anthony. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, beam it up, Port Adelaide.
Beam it up!